What's up, guys? We're back. We got a video from a new channel we have not reacted to before called Senior. It's like a war, evolutions of the war and reviewing it and the different dynamics and also combat footage. So I thought it would be cool to watch. Before we jump into it, my name is Saxon. I go by Vegas here in Ukraine. I joined the International Legion for the defense of Ukraine in January 2023. No longer in the Legion. I'm now with Azov, specifically Azov International Battalion. I wanted to mention to you guys, these last handful of months I've been able to message everybody, and everybody who hit me up on Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram, email, text message, call. I've been talking to you guys on a daily basis. I am now stuck into, I'm now diving in a little bit deeper into some different kinds of training, so I will be a little bit uncontactable here and there. So if I'm a little bit late getting back to you, don't hate me forever. If anything, I'll give you a contact to somebody else who can help you out that's also within the battalion. Okay, so I just want to mention that if you are interested in joining one of the most professional units within Ukraine, hit us up over here at Azov International Battalion. I'm going to put my Instagram, also our battalion email down below instead of my direct email, so you can message them and one of the other guys can field your questions, and our website as well. Those will all be linked down below. Let's check this out. I've never seen this, obviously, so I'm not sure what to expect, but
2025. The 12th Azov Special Forces Brigade of the National Guard.
Okay, that I swear I did not know that was about to happen. That's random.
Conducts reconnaissance activities in the Kremina Forest in the Luhansk region, identifying Russian positions. Based on the gathered intelligence, Ukrainian forces decide to send infantry units to the area. Once the infantry reaches the designated location for the operation, they prepare for combat by checking their equipment and begin advancing strategically, moving cautiously under difficult terrain and begin advancing
It's not the best foot. Oh, dude. I'm sorry. I did the thing again. Damn it. Idiot. It's like that guy. What's that? What is that in? Step Brothers? That obnoxious ass dude. He's like always screaming. He's like, idiot. These right here, this is a UAR-15. It's an AR platform, Ukrainian edition, basically. It's all Daniel Defense parts, primarily the important parts, like receiver and barrel, and they're very solid. I've been an AK fan since I've been in Ukraine. That's what we trained in with the Legion. I really liked it. So I didn't know how I was going to feel about this UAR-15, and then I started shooting it, and I was like, wow. It's like what I call like a rifle for dummies, kind of like a Glock is a pistol for dummies. You can give a 3-year-old child a Glock, they can figure that shit out in 5 minutes. Same with this UAR-15. Very easy to use, very easy to shoot. That's nice. But this is what you're issued in as of.
Strategically, moving cautiously under difficult terrain conditions with dense woods and limited visibility, Ukrainian troops continue their reconnaissance as they approach enemy positions. Once they detect the Russian soldiers' positions, they initiate the planned assault. Under heavy and sudden fire, Russian forces try to take defensive positions while Ukrainian troops advance methodically, putting more pressure on the enemy's positions. As the conflict continues, Ukrainian forces escalate the attack by using grenades. The intensity of the explosions shakes the Russian soldiers, causing them to lose coordination, and Ukrainian troops take advantage of this opportunity to get closer to the enemy lines and continue firing. Meanwhile, a Ukrainian soldier, who is recording the battle and firing blind shots at the positions, is hit by the enemy. However, since the injury is not life-threatening, the conflict continues. In the later stages of the operation, Ukrainian forces increase the pressure to capture the enemy positions completely. By the end of the battle, all Russian troops in the positions are neutralized, and the operation is successful. All pressure to capture in the
This looks like he gets popped straight in the fucking chest plate.
Since the injury is not life-threatening, the conflict continues.
Right here is when he gets hit.
In the later stages of the operation, Ukrainian forces increase the pressure to capture the enemy positions completely. By the end of the battle, all Russian troops in the enemy position.
Look at his buddy, dude. Rifle still downrange on the target, like where the threat is. Pulling his buddy with one arm. Just so professional.
Positions completely. By the end of the battle, all Russian troops in the positions are neutralized, and the operation is successfully completed. February 22nd, 2000.
Let's stop real quick. I know a handful of people that are now in our battalion that were in the Cremina Forest, where they were operating in that past video, and I heard it was gnarly, man. Like it's interesting. I've never been to the Cremina Forest. I was when you hear about the Cremina Forest here in Ukraine, it's kind of like this mythical, like dark evil forest. It has like this aura, this stigma about it, because you hear some horror stories coming out of the Cremina Forest fighting.
25. Ukrainian forces identify Russian positions near the village of Novotroitske, located at a strategic point in the Donetsk region. After reconnaissance, it is decided to conduct an operation targeting the identified positions. In this context, Ukrainian infantry units are deployed to the area and begin advancing toward enemy lines. Coordinating their movements to gain an advantage on the field, Ukrainian soldiers approach the positions cautiously and strategically. Upon making contact, Ukrainian troops begin firing in a controlled manner to pressure the enemy. As Ukrainian forces capture the positions, they continue with clearing operations to secure the area. By the end of the operation, all Russian positions near Novotroitske are fully under Ukrainian control. Ukrainian soldiers, having secured the area, take defensive positions against a potential Russian counterattack and successfully complete the operation.
If I remember correctly, this was a 3rd Assault Brigade video, and we've seen all these so far, right? There's only been 2, but I could tell the next video we've already seen as well. But it's cool to see a different narration of it, right, rather than just me talking. But this was 3rd Assault Brigade, if I remember correctly, and it looks like kind of their kit setups, right? We saw this one. I don't remember exactly though. Let me know in the comments who this is. Did I slide this shit down? Damn it.
Against a potential Russian counterattack and successfully complete the operation. February 28th, 2000.
This cat's just gonna have a fucking hairball right now while I'm filming.
2025.
She's been quiet all day. Not a peep. Start filming, she's all...
Ukrainian troops patrolling the village of Shcherbanovka in the Donetsk region enter the yard of an abandoned ruin. While the area appears quiet and deserted from the outside, the soldiers remain cautious. Experienced from similar situations in the past, the Ukrainian infantry know that even the slightest mistake can have deadly consequences, so they inspect every corner meticulously, staying alert for any potential ambush. During the patrol, one of the Ukrainian soldiers, who is recording the event, approaches the door of a small hut in the yard.
Yeah, okay. I wanted to...
During the event, approaches
Up here, I remember this one. We believe, in the last video, we kind of broke it down. We believe he's looking through, there's like a mesh kind of... it's like a chicken coop, basically. And there's mesh right here, and it looks like he's looking through here, and he fires through here.
The door of a small hut in the yard. At that moment, a sudden gunshot is heard from inside. It is clear that enemy troops are inside, and the Ukrainian soldier quickly drops to the ground and returns fire to protect himself.
Also, have to shout out the professionalism there. I know it's Azov, I know I'm biased, but the fact that he dropped to the ground and immediately started shooting back is incredible. Taking direct fire that close to your face and being so well trained that the first thing you do is fire back and not just haul ass the other direction, very good stuff.
As bullets fly through the air, the soldier rapidly moves to a more sheltered position. Realizing that a conflict has begun, The other Ukrainian troops immediately take positions and begin applying heavy suppressive fire on the hut. The Russian soldier inside attempts to return fire, but is overwhelmed by the intense barrage, which limits his ability to move. Realizing that resistance is futile without cover, he decides to surrender. The Ukrainian troops order the Russian infantryman to drop his weapon and approach him cautiously. Upon realizing the soldier is wounded, they instruct him to enter the house for medical assistance, providing first aid. Ukrainian forces attempt to gather as much information as possible from the captured Russian soldier. They interrogate him regarding enemy troop movements, the situation, and potential attack plans. Once the questioning is completed, the Ukrainian soldiers, following the principles of humanitarian law, evacuate the Russian infantry.
Yeah, try that sometime, Russia. Look at this. This is your guy. He got shot in both arms and his legs. He's got 3 tourniquets on, and they're about to evac him to an armored vehicle to get him out and save his life, risking all of their lives to save the guy that just tried to shoot them in the face. Okay?
Infantryman, escorting him to a safe location. The operation is successfully concluded, and the patrol continues. February 19th, 2025. The Stugna Special Forces of the Ukrainian Military Intelligence, GUR, prepare for an operation to clear the village of Krylyakivka in the Kharkiv region from Russian forces. During the meticulously planned process, the enemy positions and potential risks in the village are thoroughly analyzed. For the success of the operation, the units are divided into groups and move in from different directions to enter the village. Based on previously gathered intelligence indicating the presence of enemy forces in the area, Ukrainian soldiers proceed with maximum caution as they enter the village. Dense wooded areas and narrow streets increase the possibility of ambushes, so every movement is strategically planned. Upon detecting enemy units, Ukrainian soldiers immediately open fire and begin the assault. As the fighting intensifies, Ukrainian infantry use grenades to try to break the enemy's resistance more quickly by throwing them into houses. A Russian soldier, attempting to leave the building he is hiding in, is spotted by Ukrainian troops as he opens the door. The soldier, left in a vulnerable position, comes under heavy fire. Since the area he is hiding in does not provide bulletproof cover, he is killed shortly after. Ukrainian forces continue to move through the village, neutralizing shortly after.
Let's take a look at this. Nothing against this guy, right? I've heard Stugna's a solid unit in the GOR, but we've seen multiple videos of people hitting drones while moving, and I'm always so impressed by it. This is why. This thing's just levitating. It's one of the closest drones we've actually seen to the operator, and he can't hit it multiple rounds. It's hard to hit.
Ukrainian forces continue to move through the village, neutralizing shortly after. Ukrainian forces continue to move through the village.
No, it dropped on him. Do you see it drop at the very end?
He is killed shortly after. Ukrainian forces continue to move through the village, neutralizing all Russian positions. After the complete clearing of Krylyakivka village, the next target, another village, is quickly approached. A similar combat environment occurs in the new area. Russian forces attempt to defend by firing from enclosed spaces, but Ukrainian forces continue to advance, breaking the enemy's defense with heavy firepower. Overwhelmed by the explosions and heavy fire, the Russian soldiers are unable to resist any longer. At the end of the operation, all Russian troops in the region are neutralized, and Ukrainian soldiers successfully complete their mission, securing the area and preparing for the next strategic objectives. February 17th, 2025. Ukrainian soldiers from the 2nd Mechanized Battalion of the 3rd Assault Brigade detect enemy activity near the village of Vishnev in the Kharkiv region. After reconnaissance, it is confirmed that a Russian position is located in the area. Once the position coordinates are confirmed by the higher command, Ukrainian infantry begin the operation to neutralize the enemy and clear the area. Moving quietly and systematically to approach the position unnoticed, the Ukrainian soldiers advance with maximum caution against the possibility of an ambush. Once the approach distance is deemed appropriate, the Ukrainian troops throw the first grenade into the position. After a powerful explosion, no movement is detected from inside. To break any potential resistance, Ukrainian soldiers throw a second grenade into the position. Shortly after the second explosion, a Russian soldier, visibly shaken, exits the shelter. Realizing the inevitability of his situation, the Russian soldier decides to drop his weapon and surrender. Ukrainian forces capture the enemy soldier in a controlled manner and secure the position. After completing the necessary search and clearing procedures, Ukrainian forces assess other potential threats in the area and continue with their operations. March 5, 2025. During operations in the Luhansk region, drone...
Just another example of another high-profile unit, 3AB, 3rd Assault Brigade, acting professionally, taking, 3 Russian POWs rather than killing them.
Operators from the Ukrainian Border Service Battalion Phoenix carry out precision strikes on enemy targets. Throughout the operation, enemy positions are carefully identified and attacks are planned accordingly. Ukrainian forces use advanced drone technology to locate and eliminate Russian vehicles and infantry one by one. The operation footage showcases the high skill and precision of the drone operators. The strikes are carried out with millimeter accuracy, inflicting heavy losses on Russian forces.
So in all those FPV clips we just saw, you could see the enemy has EW, some kind of electronic warfare devices on their vehicles, because when it gets within 10 meters or so, the FPV view goes blurry. And we've learned that EW is effective, but it's effective at very short ranges. So it's almost like it's effective, but it's not effective, right? It'll cut the signal of an FPV, or at least blind it, but once it's already right there in your face.
Enemy vehicles are disabled with explosive-laden drones, while Russian positions and trenches are systematically targeted. These coordinated aerial strikes give Ukrainian forces a significant advantage in the ongoing ground conflict. Russian troops, continuously under pressure, lose their ability to maneuver and their defenses collapse. Ukrainian operators minimize the margin of error throughout the operation, successfully eliminating every target. At the end of the operation, all enemy forces in the area are neutralized, and strategic points in Luhansk are brought under Ukrainian control. Once security is fully ensured, the troops continue their preparations for the next targets. March 4, 2025. The Ukrainian 110th Mechanized Brigade detects a Russian logistics convoy moving towards Velika Novosilka. Russian forces, which have stopped on the road for an unknown reason, are placed under surveillance by Ukrainian reconnaissance teams. Once the target is confirmed, Ukrainian forces launch an attack using FPV drones. The first FPV drone is directed at a Russian vehicle.
You know, it makes you wonder, man. They're sitting out in the open right here. Who knows what's happening? Maybe they're broken down, or I don't know. But there's also cover right here. Assuming that this is abandoned. Like, why not just move into here?
Delivering a precise strike. With a powerful explosion, the vehicle is completely destroyed and rendered unusable. The explosion causes panic among the nearby Russian soldiers, and Ukrainian forces continue the operation by launching a second drone. This time, the drone targets another Russian vehicle left behind. The drone hits the target successfully.
Okay, maybe I take it back. Look at the building.
The drone targets another Russian vehicle left behind. The drone hits the target successfully, rendering the vehicle completely inoperable. The explosion causes the vehicle's ammunition and fuel to catch fire, leading to heavy casualties among the nearby Russian infantry. Ukrainian forces continue targeting other Russian logistics elements in the area with drone strikes. With precise hits, all vehicles are destroyed, delivering a severe blow to the Russian supply line. As a result of this operation, Russian logistics suffer significant damage, while Ukrainian forces gain a strategic advantage in the region. After securing control of the area, the Ukrainian forces continue preparations for their next target. Regardless of how large and powerful an army is, it requires a constant flow of supplies to fight on the front lines. However, due to Ukraine's drone strikes, this flow is cut off, and Russian forces are unable to progress, let alone maintain their positions. This also directly impacts the morale of the Russian army. The constant destruction of their vehicles prevents soldiers from feeling safe and leads to significant casualties. Soldiers face shortages of ammunition and supplies while witnessing the ongoing destruction of armored vehicles and supply trucks. This becomes a debilitating factor that undermines their will to fight. Ukraine's drone strategy also challenges Russia's military doctrine. Russia relies on a heavy armored unit-based warfare approach from the Soviet era. However, today, units equipped with drones that are flexible and capable of rapid movement appear to have the advantage. It is clear that Russia is struggling to adapt to this new battlefield, while Ukraine has effectively leveraged modern military technology to turn this gap into an advantage.
That was cool, man. That was kind of like a highlight reel with narration, which I'm always good with. A couple of things I noticed in this video. One, it's really interesting to see at least like 6 or 7 examples there of that. The range of the EW devices that the enemy and friendlies are using, right? They get the FPVs get right up on the target, and then they go fuzzy, they go black and white, and then but they're close enough to hit the target. So that's really interesting. That was a cool video. We had seen like the first 3, and then the rest were all new. So very cool. Definitely check this guy out, man. I'll link his page in the description below. Also, contact information for Azov International will be linked below. Send an email, go straight to the website, message me on Instagram, whatever. Do any of that, and we'll hit you back. With that said, I love you guys, and please like, share, subscribe. Let's blow this channel up. I'll see you in the next video.